Hi, lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of ours. You guys are the real MVP. So guys, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, which has actually been putting waves on the social platform where this passport bros is actually calling out on his Filipino wife for dumping him after he must have done all the necessary thing to make her life so comfortable. He goes as far as calling her, my Filipino Americanized wife. They got a lot of people reacting, and I was able to put up some of those teachings. I'm just going to roll the clip. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into it.
Well, it didn't take long. It only took 2 years, literally to the day, December 27th, for my Filipino wife to become fully Americanized, hate everything about me and what I provide, and decide to leave. Yeah, welcome to the shittiest post that I'm ever gonna make. There's a lot to it, and I'm not gonna go into it, okay? But suffice to say, after providing and going on the Disney World trip, which included the funeral for my mom, I got up to day 6, I think, on that, because it all broke down at Magic Kingdom. Fucking ironic. And I didn't post anything after that, because when we got back from Orlando to St. Simons, Georgia, I was greeted with the announcement from Jayanne that she wanted a separation. And then I discovered through text that she had been discussing this with her family and making plans to also take the children. So that's heavy, right? That's a nuke. And I'm gonna go into my bunker. So I came downstairs in my nice 4-story mansion and just stayed by myself through Christmas Eve and through Christmas Day. And I missed Christmas with my children. My in-laws, my mother and my father-in-law, and Jayanne, they proceeded to open the presents without me. Presents all of which I bought. Yeah, the separation is a separation. I'm lucky enough to have a big house, and the logistics of it can be met right away, but I spent Christmas utterly by myself. And it's coming up on New Year's Eve, and I'm still alone. Because there's no communication from her. Why? Because she's communicating with her parents. She has the total backing and validation of her parents. Plus TikTok. All external sources of validation. And it's my position, my feelings are not relevant. She's got it figured out. She's got a plan. I'm waiting to hear what the plan is, and we'll see what happens from that point. But I'm pretty. I'm at peace with what has occurred, what could occur. I am done being Mr. Fix-It. Fix-It Felix. I'm not going to be the simp, nice guy, Fix-It Felix anymore. A relationship takes 2 people. And she made the decision for the separation. She's made the announcement and made plans with family to take our children back to the Philippines. And she's an adult. She has an accountability. It's on her to come to me and explain to me what her plan is, such that it is, and what can be done about it. So, surprise, no more countdown with the great fun in Disney World. It was a fucking disaster. And, that's the truth. Social media is not about the truth, but I'm about the truth, so that's what I give you. Thanks. My Filipino wife has been Americanized. My Americanized Filipino wife. That seems to be triggering a lot of people. Let me explain what I mean. In America, if a wife, even a girlfriend, is not happy in the relationship, all she has to say to the world on social media, and especially to the government, I'm not happy. And if she drops the word abused or anything along those lines, the American system steps in. It steps in to protect her against any for any allegations that she makes. And the man's side of the story is, it's all assumed. I'm an evil, controlling, patriarchal, oppressive white dude. And the narrative quickly, instantly becomes me bad, she victim. So the fight that we're having, that's still there. Okay? That's always going to hang over my head. I'm a passport bro. I brought her here. I married her here. I signed all the government forms saying that I will support her for a minimum of 10 or 1,000 years. I don't know. I don't even know what I signed. And all you dudes out there who have been through this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Americanized means weaponization of the male-female relationship to benefit the female, because family court is not a judicial system. It's a corporation. For profit, digging into the pockets of dads, of men. Because, yeah, we're in a patriarchal system and men still have most of the money. Now, that's exactly what's true in our relationship. She doesn't have any money. I have all the money. And it's, a relationship can go south when the woman has lost love for her man and she's just going for the bag. And if she goes for the bag, she's going to get a huge portion of that. That's what I mean by Americanized. Jayan is solidly Filipina, and that comes with a lot of stuff. And one of those things is she's going to be fiercely defensive for her family, her mom and dad. And this whole fight is hinging on the fact that I disrespected her mom and dad. Never mind that they disrespected me too. We'll get into that later. But Jayan is not Americanized in that she's materialistic or even greedy. But she senses and she knows the support that she would get if things really got ugly between us. The American system is on her side, not mine, not the man's. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, that's it for now. More later. Happy New Year. Thanks for watching.
I get into my commentary on this man, I have another clip that I want y'all to watch so that we can all be on the same page, and then we're going to talk about it.
Floor of my 4-story mansion in Honolulu, Hawaii on New Year's Eve 2025. And you know why I know that my Americanized Filipino wife is not going to leave me? She's pregnant. She may not love me, she may not want me, but she needs me. And that's what love is based on. Need. Don't fucking kid yourselves.
So y'all seen that second clip. These passport bros are under the impression that because either some of them have money, some of them don't. This one happens to have money, right? They go to these other countries that they would consider third world countries, and they find wives or they find women that they feel like if they marry them and bring them to the States, that these women are indebted to them, that they should be grateful to them. And it's not just the passport bros, it's the women that go to these other countries that they find people that they have more than, because it's about manipulation, it's about need, as you saw in the second video. They feel like they've rescued these people from an undesirable life, so now these people owe them their life. And I don't understand what it is about this idea that I think a lot of these men, they go to these countries where they think that these women are going to be docile or allow them to treat them like shit, when that is in reality not the case, especially when it comes to Asian women. Like, have you ever met an Asian woman? They are fucking fierce and they are fucking mean. And I mean that in like the nicest way possible. Like, you meet the tiniest little Asian lady and she will scare the shit out of you. Okay, so I don't understand why these men feel like they can go to these countries and find people who come from a hard life, who come from a hard situation, and think that they're going to be these soft, docile people who are going to allow you to fucking treat them like shit. And what he doesn't mention in his video is that he was abusive to her, that he was abusive to her parents, not only just like verbally abusive, but he was physically abusive to her parents. And then he comes back with that follow-up video and it's like, oh, my wife's not going to leave me after all. She's pregnant. Haha. They've been together for 2 years. This is their third child. 2 years, 3 children. And the fact that she said, like, I watched the wife's video and the wife goes into detail and explains the situation. She's even friends with the ex-wife. So clearly the women that he's marrying aren't the problem. It's him. If you have to go to another country to find someone to marry, the millions and millions and millions of millions and millions of people that are in your country that you can't find one to marry, even after you're worth millions of dollars, the problem is you. And then even after you go to another country to find someone, they still don't want to be with you because the problem is you. And the only way that you can get someone to mess with you is because you have money. And he knows he's a god-awful person. And in his video, he even says that he put himself in the basement of his 4-story mansion in Hawaii. And that he sequestered himself in the basement for days. And that, oh, they went and opened up presents without me. And those are presents that I purchased. This thing that men do when they remove themselves from a situation always pisses me off so fucking bad. Like, I've known men in real life that will leave their family for a couple of days to go cool off or whatever the fuck. And it's like, so you thought that it was acceptable that you can go off and leave your wife with your children and everything else going on, just go about your fucking... How many times do y'all hear women doing that? Women just, oh, we had a fight, we had an argument, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave him with the kids. That does not fucking happen. But men are so entitled that they feel like they can just sequester themselves because they want somebody to come and beg their ass to come back. Oh, they went and opened all the presents without me. You didn't want to be there. You did not want to be there. Also, keep in mind the age gap. There's a major age gap, manipulation, and then there's a completely different economics at play here. So there are multiple things that he has working for him to where he can manipulate this woman. This woman is her early 20s. He's had her pregnant they've been together 2 years and she's pregnant with their 3rd baby. She says that he's been abusive to her and that because she needs him, he's not going anywhere. And in the video, he wanted to point out that it's his Filipino wife. Everything about this screams abuse. Everything. These passport bros think that they can go to these countries and that these women are somehow unaware of the dynamic and that they can take advantage and abuse these women. You don't know. These are some strong fucking women. These are women that grew up in real poverty, real hard situations, hard lives. And y'all think y'all are getting over on them? Y'all really think y'all are getting over on these women? They might not have the education you have, but baby, they smart. They are smart. Do they have abortions in Hawaii?
This and immediately all my red flags went up. First of all, the way you mentioned her as a Filipina wife, my Filipina wife, not my wife, my Filipina wife. She's from a poorer country than you. You're already set it up as though you took this woman from a country where she needed help. You married her and it took her 2 years to leave you. And all of a sudden she doesn't want anything to do with you. You also did the hashtag gold digger. And then you proceed to talk about your mansion. So immediately I'm skeptical. And then
People, let me explain what I mean.
No, Chad. I love that your name is Chad. Please, let me explain to people what you mean when you say your Filipino wife has become Americanized. What you mean by that is that you never thought that you would be the one to lose the control in the relationship, right? Because you were the big, rich American that went to the Philippines and found some young girl who's, 30 years your junior, who I'm guessing was maybe didn't come from a ton of money and didn't have a ton of opportunities. And you essentially entered into this business agreement with her, right? In exchange for her marrying you, having
Every year, thousands of American men go overseas to marry young Filipino women. And in the end, they end up disappointed because these women, all they want is to obtain the green card to come to America. But the story I'm about to tell you of a green card marriage involves a Latino. But first, I have fresh tortillas. And if you have a cruda, sopa de mariscos is where it's at. For those of you in the back, seafood soup. This Latino had everything. He owned his own house, had a brand new car in his driveway. He was an American citizen. He lived by himself. His neighbor across the street, a Latina from Honduras, came knocking on the door and said to him, "Do you have any chores for me to do? I'm offering house cleaning. Maybe you want me to do your laundry?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." She would come in, clean his house, do his laundry, iron his clothes. He used to bring his shirts to the cleaners. Months go by, and she says to him, "My niece just came from Honduras, and I think you and her would make a great couple. Would you like me to introduce you to her?" Mind you, this is a 60-plus-year-old man, and her niece was in her 20s. And he was like, "Sure." Well, they started dating. I told her repeatedly that I was not looking for a relationship. I did not want to get married. And she insisted that she wanted for us to get married. Yeah, that's because there's only one thing in her mind, dude. He ends up marrying her. Mind you, this girl just crossed the border from Honduras. She got pregnant. She got her green card. She's got a kid. And she's ready to divorce him. And what these men don't understand, they have one goal in mind, and that is to legalize their status here in the U.S. She ended up divorcing him, took his house, kicked him out of the house. He had to pay her over $50,000 in spousal support, and now he has to pay child support. Marrying women this young from other countries only indicates one thing, and it's not a happily ever after with you. It's a happily ever after with someone else after you give her the green card.
So this guy right here, Jay, is going viral because his Filipino wife, who he brought over here and married, her name is Ann, is filing for divorce after 2 years of being here. Now, Jay is catching a lot of flack because he's a passport bro. Now, people have a lot of misconceptions about passport bros. Before the passport bros that choose to bring their wives over from whatever respective country that they met them in or dated them in, I would advise not to. So he's complaining that she came over here and after 2 years, she's been Americanized and she will not allow him to see his kids. And they live in the same house and her family is also there. And he's basically locked away in his bed, in his basement. So I would say this to men that are going to marry overseas or marry someone from overseas. Let them stay in the country that they're in. If you're concerned about them becoming Americanized, just allow them to stay wherever they are. Colombia, the Philippines, Thailand, Africa, wherever. Do not bring them to the United States. And then you don't have to worry about going through what Jay is going through or worry about them becoming Americanized. Just let them stay there. You can go back and forth, or you can become an expat and you can go and move there. Problem solved.
This wife also hates you because you're not a likable person. You are not the man you think you are. And that's the problem. Men will go to other countries to find wives, and when that wife also does not like them, they're going to think that they are Americanized, that they're brainwashed, that their wives are too dumb to think for themselves. No, the common denominator is you, sir. Men like this will change the breed of women they're into, and I say breed because that is how they view women as objects and breeds. When the American women don't like him, he's going to go to the Filipino women. Now that his Filipino wife has woken up and seen how crazy he is, he's going to go to the Brazilians and then the Africans. He's going to go younger and younger and younger. These men who are divorced multiple times will never look in the mirror and say, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe it's not all women. Maybe they all called me a narcissist and controlling because I am. Maybe my form of values are not really values, but my form of wanting ownership of a woman. But that's the problem with narcissistic men. They will never, ever see themselves as the problem. His wife also has a TikTok, and she made a 7-minute video talking about her perspective, and it is so evident that she is obviously the victim, that this man is controlling and just a horrible person. Anyways, I'm going to keep up to date with this drama. They both have TikTok accounts, and yeah.
First of all, you can actually find the love of your life anywhere. I am not disputing that fact. You can find the love of your life in a cafe, in a social platform, anywhere you are, and all of that. But I want to make this, commentary specifically for this group of passport bros. There are some group of passport bros who actually have good intention to, meet up genuinely, finding love and all of that. But there is this particular group of passport bros who has actually made it to look as if they are in for something. They're like they are going there for something, for some kind of ulterior motives, especially people like this. I am not, siding with anybody. I am not trying to, but with the way at which this man is talking, he's this kind of person that, he feels that with his money and finance and all of that, he can actually get any kind of women that he wants, and also he's also going to ride on those women. Okay, you left your environment, your country, and whatsoever, and you decided to go in search of a love in a country that you think that the women there will actually put up to so many things that you have to do. Because some of these passport bros believe that maybe the women in the US over there are just too, demanding, like they don't want to do 50-50 with them, and they also want to be in control. They want these women to serve them. They want these women to worship them and treat them as the king that they are, without even realizing that this is a two-way thing. If you want me to treat you like a king, you have to treat me like a queen. There I am. But these men, this particular group of men, we want these women to treat them like a king without actually treating these women as a queen that they deserve. And because of that, they become so greedy and decided to go into these countries, these under countries that is not developed, undeveloped country, the way they used to call them. So they go as far as going to this country hoping to see a woman that will treat them like a queen, and they will still treat these women the same way they will want to treat women in the US. Let me just use that, as an example. But these people have refused to actually, go in research to know about the culture you are getting yourselves involved, to know about these people and the way at which they treat their women. Some of you guys don't understand one thing. You see a woman, wherever your location where you are, whom we really accept to go on a 50-50 with you, and you will still want this woman to to still worship you and all of that, but you will not do the same thing. Let me tell you, some of these countries, especially in this undeveloped country, the way at which you guys call them, women don't do 50-50. If you have 50-50 in your agenda in order to look for these women, they don't do 50-50. What they believe as a woman and in their culture is that you as a woman, you need to take care of the house, take care of the kids, give birth, raise children, and all of that. Then the man have to provide everything. In case of some of you that don't know, I'm just talking based on people who do not know. You are expected as a man to provide both the house, school fees, everything. Even you go as far as getting a house help for these women in order for them to treat you like a king. This is how it goes. It goes with two ways. In order for you to see a woman to treat you like a king, you have to first of all treat this woman like a queen that she is. You have to provide for her. You have to do 100. They don't do 50-50. And that does not necessarily mean that you will go as far as disrespecting them, or because you feel that you provide all of the 100%. They can't even take that from you, even if you are the one providing the 100%. Even if you provide the 100%, you are still going to respect them and respect their family, because I try as much as I can to listen to the both side. After this video, I think by tomorrow I'll be putting another video by the lady explaining what happened, because this man was just all out here talking about how, oh, I did this, I did that, brought her. These women don't see all of the things that you do for them. The only thing that they see is the way at which you treat them, and they treat you back. Do not expect, maybe because this is their culture, and if you cannot handle that, there's no point living where you are, that you can do your 50-50 and do whatsoever coming down to this place. These people has already, they knew and they know what passport board is all about, coupled with the fact that their culture has actually made it possible for men to provide. This man goes as far as providing a house help to help their women to do the house chores. The only thing the woman has to do is to take care of the children and give birth, then make sure that the house is well organized. This is how it is. And you as a man doing that, this woman will respect you, and you will respect the woman back, because don't see it as, oh, because I'm providing all of the things for her, I need to disrespect her and speak with her or insult her parents. They are very, very concerned. Like they don't take insult. Like they are very respectful. They like it when you respect their elders and all of that. You know how it is in all of these countries and cultures. You have to make your research before you go out there to pick yourself a woman, without coming out on a social platform to cry about someone that is a gold digger. This is not a gold digger kind of a thing. This is the way at which the society and the culture has made it to be. These women are supposed to be treated like a queen. Then she will in return serve you as a king. You do not expect to be served and treated like a queen while you don't treat this woman the way at which she deserves. It doesn't happen. If you're looking for a woman that we actually, put up with all of, I don't know, I don't really know where you're going to get search, because coupled with the fact that the society and the culture and background of this kind of women, the rate at which you passport bros have actually made this thing to become a kind of a fantasized stuff, has made these women to enhance in the way at which they think and look at you guys. That's why they can go as far as maybe pretending to love you and blah 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 and get away with whatever they want. And if they do that, you wouldn't blame them. You guys are to be blamed. So when I saw this, I was like, no, this man should just stop crying. This is the way at which it is. If you want to actually go after all of these undeveloped countries and their women and all of that, and you as a passport post, you need to make your research. Or better still, it's better for you not to actually bring them over, maybe go over there and make sure when you go over there, you treat them the way at which their culture and tradition demands. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.